Hello team, I want to break down this video and give you my honest thoughts of joining a fitness program for the first 4 weeks. And I thought by breaking down a few messages that I got before joining. So I'll be reading my iPad again because I feel like it helped with the last video that I did it for. For example, if you're disciplined in the gym, you're more likely to be disciplined in other areas of your life. If you don't have the best health, you realize that you can't enjoy the things that you worked hard for. So that's why people say health is wealth. Someone that has done the work themselves, you have to realize that it took them a lot of time. And joining a fitness program, it does save you time because what they had to go through, they can tell you what it is that you should do and what you shouldn't do. So the first message, it says, I feel the only reason people snack is because they aren't eating nutrient-dense foods that fill them up. You're not even planning your meals. But then also when you are snacking, it's because you're not tracking your meals. So it's not only that you're not planning your meals, but you're not tracking it. And I was going to say, when you do snack, it's because it's the last minute, you haven't thought of anything that you're going to eat. I'm not doing this just to tell you what to do. I'm trying to give you some inspiration. Because for example, if you keep doing the same things that you're doing, you're going to get the same result. It gives people a rough idea that when you do snack, it's because it doesn't fill you up. But then also you're not eating nutrient-dense foods. And you have to realize when you do snack, it's because you see other people doing it, that the people around you are also snacking. And no one really tells you this. No one tells you that you should be eating healthier. No one tells you how to do it. And the thing is, if it was up to you, would you actually do it yourself? You may think that when it comes to a fitness program, that everything happens all at once. It's broken down based on what you're trying to do, your goals, and really where it is you are in terms of your physique. The foods which you may not like, and the foods you may avoid, such as your fruits, such as your vegetables, such as white rice, you have to realize that it really does help you in terms of your performance, your energy. In terms of protein, it's things such as egg and chicken. That's what you want to be eating more of. If you want to see more progress, you want to have more energy, and you want to be snacking less. But let me continue with the messages. So I said thank you so much. I will try my best going forward, as I can't get a proper physique if my diet is bad. And I knew before joining the program that my discipline in terms of going to the gym is good. But you have to realize people will say abs are made in the kitchen. You're not going to get the progress that you want or the physique that you want a lot faster. And it's not about quick results, but it's just about feeling good during your workouts. So that's why by having a good diet, while also being consistent in the gym, working out on each muscle group, you realize that you're going to see results, but then also other people see the results more than you really do. So that's why you need to take pictures and have someone else objectively tell you what it is you need to improve on. So the next message that was said, I was the same bro, snacking on like Love Hearts and drinking like lots of Rubicons and Fantas. I'm going to say this because the reason why you may have a higher body fat percentage, it might not even be the foods you're eating, but it's also the drinks that you're having, or maybe it's both. For example, if you eat normally, you do this for a whole week, but then what happens, you do it at first, and then you start to track it. Don't change anything at the moment, and then you will see if you're like near maintenance calories or over. So for example, maintenance calories for a guy is roughly about 2,500 calories. But for example, for women, it could be 2,300. And if you want a calorie deficit, it's good to go down by like 100 or 200 calories. So for women, it could be 2,100 if you want a calorie deficit. But when it comes to guys, it could be 2,300 for a calorie deficit. I wanted to say that I'm going to speed up now because I am trying to help you, but I also want to at least get my point across. So the next thing that I'm going to say, I'll meal prep at some point as it is important. The next message following up from what I just said, it wasn't until I started taking the gym and my health seriously where I was like, I want to see gains. There'll be days where your workouts don't go to plan. There'll be days where you don't feel like it at all. But you have to realize that you have to be the one to do it. And you have to realize the thoughts that you have and all the doubts you have, you realize it is all on you. Because the thing is, like, you're the only person that can stop you from working out and getting the physique that you want. You have to realize, rather than saying, I don't want to go to the gym today because I feel tired, I don't want to go to the gym today because other people are there, I don't want to go to the gym because other people have better physiques than me. But you have to think of it this way. If other people have done it, that means you can get it done. But then also, if other people are at the gym, why am I not at the gym as well? And you need to think about it, that if other people are also doing these things, like they have good habits, why don't I have these good habits? Because, for example, if they have good habits and they're tracking their meals, they're going to the gym whether they like it or they don't, you need to start looking at things objectively, that what is it that other people are doing that I'm not doing? So, for example, you can look at what other people are doing and find out what it is that you can do better. But then also you have to realize everyone has the same 24 hours. It's just that everyone has different schedules. So you just need to find a time that works best for you. And you need to prioritize your health and really your fitness. So the next message is, I'm just going to read it quickly now. I'm not going to say anything, I just want to read the messages. And you know, like, if you don't change something, nothing will change, you know. No one is going to lift a fork to your mouth lest you are physically incapable. Then maybe. Bro, I feel like you need to increase your testosterone. You should watch my vids on YouTube, brother. I think they'd help you out a lot. You are funny, to which makes it relatable. And people want to listen to you. Nothing changes if nothing changes. I will start off with a meal prep of the foods I like, but healthier alternatives. But then afterwards it says, but if you want extra help, I can get you right. The reason why I wanted to do this and the reason why I'm showing you all of this is because you have to realize someone that's already done it, you're not going to doubt that person, but you're going to doubt yourself. But then also I realized that statements such as you need to increase your testosterone is because you have to realize, even though it doesn't matter how other people perceive you, you have to realize, why did people say that out of all things? And what my definition of like increasing your testosterone means is that you need to focus more on what you're doing rather than what you're saying. And this is just a guy's perspective. When it comes to increasing your testosterone, you need to stop making excuses. You need to have foods which make you at least feel confident. You need to feel like you're going to the gym with a purpose in mind. Because if you're not going to the gym with a purpose in mind, you realize that you have no structure to what it is that you're trying to do. You don't know how many sets you're doing the workout for. You don't even know what the workouts you're trying to do. But also your diet, you're not tracking it. You're always changing it every single time. And one thing that I took away from the program is just to eat the same things over and over again. And consistency is much better than intensity. When it comes to consistency, you have to realize when you do the same things, you can find ways of how to make it better. And you're making small changes, not big changes. Because when you make big changes, it could completely throw you off. But then also when you make big changes, it's really hard for you to track it. And I wanted to say, so when it comes to me eating consistent meals, I would eat sourdough bread, I would have chicken tikka meals from Tesco's, but then also I would add fruit and veg. So it could be mixed veg, it could be carrots. And I was going to say, sometimes I'll drink water, but then sometimes I'll drink like a mixed drink. So I'm not drinking fizzy drinks as much, and I haven't really snacked once. The goal of the program was to hit 100 grams of protein while also having 2,100 calories as a deficit. And I know that I said that for women in particular, but it can also apply to guys. Because it depends on how quickly you want to lose weight. But then also you have to make sure when you are losing weight that you have a calorie deficit. And you are tracking your meals. You could either have an app or you can do it yourself by looking at the labels at the back. But in terms of a calorie deficit, if I wasn't clear, For women mainly, it can be 2,100, but for men, it could be 2,300. And I just wanted to read this message quickly because I feel like I've been talking for a while, but I will just say this before I continue. So my aim was to sleep for like at least 8 hours if I could. And normally I'll be working, I'll go to the gym on the days I go work sometimes. And then sometimes I go to the gym on my days off. But it has been something that I do each week. And by me recording this video, I'm on week 14 right now. You need to realize that it's very important to track your sleep, to get 8 hours of sleep for better performance, better recovery. And to also realize by getting 8 hours of sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., it can be hard at first because you're not used to it. But you have to realize that in order to recover faster and in order to feel alert, to feel awake, you need to make sure that you get your 8 hours of sleep. So for me, I try to do 8 hours of sleep. I try and do 10k steps, preferably. But then also, if I have my days off, I try and do 8k steps. If you're not moving around, you're not going to feel energized. But then also, you have to realize that your bodies were made to move. And they weren't made to just like sit in one spot. So I'm going to read the messages because I feel like I've been talking for a while now. So the next message: bro, what's your split saying? My bad for replying late. I be deleting TikTok soon as I post. What you normally eat daily? And then I said, no worries, Jonathan. I was like that at one point as well. I normally eat oven chips, wait, did I actually say bottled noodles? I think I meant to say boiled noodles. I normally eat oven cooked chips, boiled noodles, oven baked potato waffles, Pringles crisp, Skittles, brown rice, jollof rice, plantain, and chicken slices in the fridge. And I do eat other stuff. I've been eating corner shop food in the past, but I am stopping that because it increased my snacking. I was probably like eating way more than I really should. So the next message that I said: I like your videos, it motivates me to improve my diet, so I watch them and learn from them. When it comes to TikTok, it holds your attention because it has music, the content is short form. But then when it comes to Instagram, they're going to tell you what it is that you should be doing. Like they tell you in the captions that you need to at least... Yeah, no, you know, I'm going to move on. I tried. I absolutely tried to say it, but I just couldn't say it. So the next part I'm going to say: I was at work today, so I took a while to respond as I finished work at 6 p.m. today. But the next 2 days I have off. So if you can let me know the next steps, I would highly appreciate it. And then from what he said, so from what you have said, bro, we'd focus on building that lean aesthetic but muscular look for you. I'd set you up with a full training plan, keep you accountable on WhatsApp daily, help with your nutrition, and we do check-ins to track your progress. I'm running a 12-week program if you are serious, bro. So you have to understand that it's about being serious. And just yesterday, we had a phone call just talking about all the things that we've been doing. Because you have to understand that someone else can keep you accountable, but it's best to keep yourself accountable. Like they can tell you what to do, but it's up to you to really do it. And I just wanted to say that when it comes to really this program, the best thing that I've learned from it is just to take your diet seriously and to realize that once you have a good diet, it improves your performance. And the thing is, I will say that I'm not the most energized, but I do have stable energy constantly. So I'm not having like sugar crashes where I have energy near the beginning, but then it goes down later on in the day. So that's what I'm going to say is one takeaway of really joining this program. So this is the final few messages because I've been here for a while, and you can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know if it actually helps you. But let me just read the messages. So he's replying to what I said, and let me read what I said. I'm still interested in getting in shape for the summer and beyond. And no worries, I see you in Thailand. And I don't know what I said after that, but let me move on. Yeah, bro, we can start this now, bro. If you're on it, and want to invest in yourself with someone. And then I said, I was at work today, so I took a while to respond as I finished at 6. Wait. Oh, okay, I see what I did there. Okay. It's the same messages, but it's just like slightly up, I think. By improving on your diet and your fitness is going to make you more confident, but then you have to realize that all the work that you're putting in, it's much better to put it towards yourself than to put it towards someone else. And let me just explain that, because when you're doing it for yourself, you need to do it for yourself first before you can tell someone else of what it is to do. That's what I kind of meant. Because you don't want it to be that someone else is looking up to you, but then you're not looking after yourself. When it comes to really like tracking your meals, when it comes to going to the gym consistently, you want to feel confident in yourself, you have to realize that you need to take progress pictures. Because when you take progress pictures, you realize what it is that you can improve. The last thing that I'm going to say before I go, when it comes to someone coaching you in a fitness program, you want it to be that you're easily coachable, that you just do as you're told. When you have things that you need to work on, you just need to do things that you need to work on rather than focusing on what you do well.